Welcome to WCTV's first annual Organization Night. I'm Amy Bro, and I'm here with Susan Riley.
Hello.
And tonight we're going to have 2 hours of organizations all across Wilmington. It's a chance for you at home to get to know these organizations and find out how you can become a part of them. So we're going to start off, and Susan's going to start off with our first interview.
Yes. Tonight, our first interview is going to be with the Wilmington Congregational Church with Reverend Miles Hall and his daughter Rebecca Moore. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Pastor Moore, can you tell us how long you've been with the Congregational Church?
Yes, I can. Actually, I'm Pastor Hall. This is Rebecca Moore, but that's fine.
Sorry.
Yes, I've been with the Congregational Church just under a year now. It's been an exciting beginning year. We've had a lot of great things happening in terms of the ministry and in terms of seeing what God is doing in helping us to grow and to develop. And we're looking forward to what this coming year is going to have as well.
And how large is your congregation here in Wilmington?
We average on a Sunday morning somewhere in the neighborhood of 150. We're looking to see what God has in store for us in the days ahead.
I love that church. It's so pretty in Wilmington. Now, let's see, you just got a new sign recently on the front of your church.
We are beginning to do a facelift, if you will, for the front of the church. Those of you who have been a part of Wilmington for some time know that we have neglected for a period of time our exterior. We're in the process of trying to do something about that and to help to develop that. That's an exciting development that we have coming in. One of those areas is the new sign that's being developed.
Now, tell me what's going on at the Congregational Church these days. Any new programs?
Yeah, we have a number of new things that are beginning to happen. One of them has to do with a drama ministry that we're developing, and my daughter Rebecca is involved in directing that and leading that. I thought I'd let her tell you a little about it.
Rebecca? All right. Well, first of all, I'm very excited to be starting up the drama program at the Congregational Church. I have a varied background in theater, on stage, and some film also. So as far as what we're doing exactly, we'll be having dramas on some Sunday mornings that will be able to give an actual visual picture of what the message will be about on that Sunday, and using theater as kind of a way for people to be able to understand more practically exactly what the message is saying. As well as that, we're also having an inter-church production called Lifeline that's coming up. I'm very excited. We have several churches in the Wilmington area involved in this. There were auditions a couple weeks ago. And that'll be coming up on November 5th, 6th, and 7th. And that will be at the Wilmington Congregational Church. Lifeline is about a woman named Rahab, who's in the Old Testament, but what it really does is it takes a city called Jericho, an ancient city, and puts it up against our American culture, and kind of holds a mirror to our culture to really let us see what the truth of what our culture is bringing out, and also tells the story of Rahab in that process and the spies. So it's a very exciting play, and we're hoping that a lot of people will come, of course. And after we have it in Wilmington, we'll be going to several other area churches, as well as to the western part of the state in Boston and other places like that. You'll see posters that'll look similar to this for Lifeline up around. So when you see those yellow posters and colored posters around, please make sure you come and see us. And if you'd like to get involved in future things in the church, then we'd love to have you come on Sunday mornings and be involved in the dramas for Sunday mornings, as well as in the spring we're going to be doing hopefully another production that we'd love people to come out for.
And when does this start again, Lifeline?
Lifeline, the opening night is November 5th, and then it's the 6th and the 7th also. All shows, the first 2 shows will be at 8 p.m. on Friday and Saturday, and then 6 p.m. on Sunday. So it'll be there for that first weekend, and then we'll be traveling after that.
Now, if people want more information about your programs or about your church services, is there a number that they can contact you at?
Certainly. Our church number is 658-2264. While this is a brand new ministry that we're beginning and one we're excited about, there are a lot of others that have been ongoing that we're in the process of helping to redevelop, and looking at new music outreaches as well as we bring on someone new in that area. We're looking to see what we might develop. We've got an exciting new developments in some of our youth ministry as well, some new outreaches to the community that involve people within the church, small group meetings and so on, but also on topics that we think will specifically relate to needs of individuals within the community. Single parenting, infertility, job loss, small groups that will address those from a Christian perspective and help us to get a handle on what it means to understand God's forgiveness and strength and freedom as we grow in that.
Sounds great. Well, thank you very, very much for coming tonight. We appreciate it. Again, this is Pastor Hall and Rebecca Moore from the Wilmington Congregational Church. And now we're going to go to Amy.
Okay, now I am here. Thank you very much, Susan. I'm here with the Friends of Wilmington Library. I have Eileen McDougall and Barbara Hooper here. And thank you very much for coming. Give me a little background on what is the Friends of the Wilmington Library all about.
Well, the Friends of the Wilmington Library support the library services. We try to enhance what the library is already doing. We provide things that are not in their regular budget. We have just recently purchased, anybody who's come into the library and likes to sit in the reading area, we've recently purchased 4 chairs and 2 end tables so people can sit in comfortable places to read the newspaper or magazines or whatever. We've provided a new CD player for the children's room. We've also bought a digital camera for the library to use. We've done the initial funding for the web page for the library. And so this is the type of services that we're trying to provide for the library. Plus we provide some programs for the general public. And I think Eileen would like to tell you about some of those.
That was a good cue. Thank you, Barbara. I wanted to mention some of our upcoming programs. Our next program is going to be a continuation of our successful art auction. This time we're going to be focusing on art from the 70s, since that seems to be the era that is very popular now. And I'm not promising that Austin Powers is going to be there, but most of the prints and lithographs that we're going to be selling came from the library's art collection that actually circulated during the 60s, 70s, and 80s and was then withdrawn. And that will be happening on Monday night, October 18th. And there'll be a preview from 7 to 7:30, and the bidding will start at 7:30.
Great. Now, how did the Friends of Wilmington Library start? Like, when did it start? Why did it get started? What?
Well, neither Eileen or I were involved.
We're not the founders,
We're not
but
the founders. So I'm not quite sure myself how it came about. Karen Campbell, I think, was the impetus behind it all. And she is the president, and she's unable to be here tonight, but she's the one who's really the instigator. She provides us all with energy and keeps us going. So
I think as communities around us build new libraries and remodel their libraries and enhance their libraries, one of the roles that the Friends take is to act as an advocate for improving our library. And that's why we have donated furniture, and Karen herself actually refinished some really hideous chairs that were in the magazine area that are much better looking now. So I think our mission is really to improve our existing facility, but also we hope strenuously that there'll be a new library in our future.
Now, how do you get sponsors? What type of other fundraising type things do you do in your organization to get money to purchase the furniture and to do things like that?
okay. First of all, members do pay dues to belong. And we have a new brochure, which hot off the press as of 5 o'clock tonight in bright yellow, which is on the rack right opposite the circulation desk in the library. And it's very easy to join, and it's very inexpensive to join. Depending on your category, it's anywhere from $5 to $25. So that provides some of our funding, but our big fundraiser is the book sale, which has been, we've done 2 so far, and that coincides with the 4th of July festivities here in Wilmington. So.
And the book sale proved to be so successful that we now have a permanent book sale that goes on the first floor by one of the emergency doors. We've set up a bookcase, and it's on the honor system, so you can buy paperbacks, I think, for a quarter or whatever you want to donate, and we are constantly recycling books through there, and if the library withdraws books and feels that it's appropriate to sell them there, we will as well. So the success of the once-a-year book sale has kind of been channeled into providing that service every day.
Okay, now how do you become a member, and when do you meet? How often? What do you talk about when you meet during your meetings?
Well, we have a business meeting once a month, which is for the executive committee. But then we have programs. We try to do about 6 or 7 a year, which members can come to, but so can the general public. And we've had programs this past year. We had Philip Craig, who was a mystery writer, Stan Smith, who is our town treasurer, I believe, who did 5-minute whodunits. And we had a poetry night coffee house, the art auctions. And something that's coming up is the Bond collection, the curator, and I think she's going to be one of your speakers later tonight. The curator of the Bond collection is going to be a speaker, and Eileen can probably tell you more about that one too.
That program coming up is really the third in our ongoing series of regarding the history of Wilmington, and it will be featuring Kathleen Black Reynolds, who's been appointed as the curator for the Bond collection. That will happen on Thursday, November 18th at 7 o'clock. I also need to mention that we have fabulous refreshments. Kate LeDuc is our hospitality chair, and at the November meeting we will be we'll have pies for sale as well as to consume on the premises. So I think our refreshments are always a very big draw.
Another service that we haven't mentioned is that we provide books to the homebound, and people really like doing that. They feel they're performing a nice service, and if there's anybody out there who would like to take advantage of this service, we'd like them to let us, they should just call the library and let us know, because we have quite a few people who would like to volunteer to do this, but we haven't had that many people who have asked for the service. So,
And do you have that number where people can call?
it would be at the Wilmington Public
Library. Okay, great,
Yeah, right.
great. Any other exciting things that are going to be happening in the next upcoming months towards the holidays?
Well, towards the holidays, we are going to decorate the library. This will be, I think, the second year we've done it. It's kind of a fun drop-in, help us create some decorations. It really cheers the library up. I mean, the library is kind of an institutional type building, and the more color you can bring into it at the holidays, the more cheerful it seems for the patrons. So that will be happening on Friday, December 3rd.
Great. Well, I want to thank you very much for coming here and telling us about your organization. We very much appreciate it.
Thanks.
So thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Here you go, Susan.
Well, thank you, Amy. I am here talking with Tom Kilborn, a member of the North Regional Theater Workshop. Hi, Tom. How are you tonight? I'm just fine. Thanks for being here. Can you tell me a little bit about the history of the North Regional Theater Workshop?
North Regional Theater Workshop has been in existence for 25 years, and most recent 6 years we've been putting on musical and choral performances here at Wilmington High School. And our musicals have been such things as Carousel, My Fair Lady, a few other shows here, as I blank out, Hello Dolly, Oklahoma. And most recently we did an evening in concert where we did a joint concert with the Wilmington High School Jazz Band. And that was a wonderful experience for us in the jazz band. And in fact, we did two more concerts out of that on the Common, one of which you filmed and have shown here on the station. It was a lot of fun to see that. And we have been exciting organization. In a community theater, we love doing lots of types of productions, and we've been, like I said, we've been around here for 6 years.
And this is a traveling community theater?
Well, no, they've been started out locating in places like Andover and in North Reading, and gradually we've moved from place to place because trying to put on a show, finding a theater or a place to put it on, it can be quite expensive. And 6 years ago, we were able to start working in arrangement with Wilmington High School in their auditorium, and it's been beneficial to us. Plus, we've actually started to get more and more people from Wilmington involved, and including a number of high school students as well.
Well, that's great. Now, what are the upcoming shows that you will be showing at the theater?
Well, we're really excited about the show that we've got coming up this fall. It's called Home for the Holidays, and it's, I guess you could call it kind of a Christmas concert and variety show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're going to be doing choral pieces, musical numbers, and dance numbers, all with the Christmas theme. And that's going to be Thanksgiving weekend. And if I can get my dates here, that's November 26th and 27th and 28th. That's Friday and Saturday and Sunday of Thanksgiving weekend. The shows on Friday and Saturday night are 8 p.m., and we're doing something new this year. On Sunday, it's going to be a 3 p.m. matinee. That's all going to be at the Wilmington High School, and we're going to have about upwards of 50 people involved in the production, as many as 15 or more here from Wilmington residents.
Now, where do the members come from besides Wilmington?
We have people from as far away up in New Hampshire and Salem, New Hampshire. We have some people coming in from Winthrop in East Boston, but most of our members are in the immediate area, from Tewksbury, North Reading, and Billerica for the most part.
And how old is the organization?
25 years it's been in existence.
And it's always been based locally in this area?
That's correct. It's always been in this general area. It was most recently at the North Reading High School, and it's been a organization that's had a lot of history, doing primarily musicals under the direction of Paul Green, who's pretty well known in the community theater organizations around this part of the eastern Massachusetts.
Cool. Wow. And you have a specific plea that you would like to share with the community.
Well, up until recently, we've been doing our practices at Wilmington High School, but costs have become prohibitive in being able to rent out space there. So temporarily, we're going to have to relocate our practice space. We're going to be going down to the Congregational Church in Stoneham. We have some members in our organization from Stoneham, and they've graciously offered us practice space for free. So it makes it a lot more affordable because we're a nonprofit organization. But in reality, we'd really like to be based here in Wilmington. We really would like to be practice here. We've got a lot of people from within Wilmington, nearby, as I said, from North Reading and Billerica. And we hope that maybe somebody out there in the Wilmington area has a place that might be able, for either ideally free, but if not for a small fee, be able to give us some practice space. We need, just like I said, space for upwards of 50 people and a piano. And right now we're practicing on Tuesday nights, so if anybody has got some ideas or suggestions, they can give us a call. By the way, I should mention our NRTW ticket line, which is 658-0192. And if you're interested in tickets for our upcoming Christmas show, you can call that phone number. And if you have any information about practice space, call that number as well, and we'll be able to put you in touch with the people and possibly come up with an arrangement. And we'd really love that if we could get back here in town and be doing our practices.
Now tell me one more question, Tom. How does one become a member of the North Regional Theater Workshop?
It's very easy. Each year we have 2 shows each year. We put out notices on WCTV. We put out announcements in the newspaper. Just come to when we're having our open practices or auditions. If we're doing a show, show up and say you want to join, you want to sing, you want to dance, you want to act. You can go, and right now the membership fee for a whole year is $20, and that's all it is. Show up and have some fun and participate, and you're a member, and we'll keep you busy too.
And can you give us that ticket number again, please?
That's 658-0192.
Okay, once again, Tom Kilburn, member from the North Regional Theater Workshop. Thank you very much for being with us tonight.
Thank you, Susan.
Take care. Amy?
Thank you very much. And I am here with Linda Golden of the Shawsheen School PAC organization. And thank you very much for being here, Linda.
Nice to be here.
Now, first of all, what does PAC stand for? It's Shawsheen School PAC. So what's PAC?
It stands for Parents Advisory Council.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about the background of the organization. What is it about?
Well, basically, it's any parent that child attends the Shawsheen School is automatically a PAC member. And there are executive board members that help run the meetings every month. There is a president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, which is what I am. And then we have a publicity director and a activities director, as well as a hostess who provides refreshments for the monthly meetings that we have. And it's any parent who wants to get involved with their children. They come to the meetings, and from there, decisions are made on upcoming events that will be occurring at the school.
Now, how long have you been a member?
I've been a member since my oldest son was in kindergarten, so that's been 6 years now that I've been with the Shawsheen School.
Now, you've said that having a child at the school, you're automatically a member. What made you become active? Because you're a member, but being an active member is something different. So what made you?
That's two different things. I believe as a parent that I can help be involved in my child's education by attending these meetings, and I took it a step further by becoming an executive board member. But I honestly feel that it's important that parents that are able to, get involved with the school in any way that you can. Even if you're a working parent, you don't have to, become an executive board member or show up to every single monthly meeting, but it's a great way to, find out what's going on with your child's school. I'm able to do it because I only work part-time, and I know that makes it, easier for me to do that. But there's many ways to get involved. You don't have to, as I said, show up to meetings. You can just buy a gift wrap. That's a fundraiser that's going on right now. You can do things at home. I mean, there are ways of getting involved.
Now, when do you meet, and how often, and what do you discuss during those meetings?
Well, we meet once a month. It's generally at the Shawshene School cafeteria. It's at night at 7 p.m. The next PAC meeting is Monday night, September 27th, as I said, 7 p.m. in the cafeteria. And the decisions that are made generally is what enrichment programs are going to come to the school, what mini requests are going to be granted. Those are really handled by the mini request committee, but the overall funding is voted on by the general PAC population. And we do decisions as far as activities for the children. We've done an ice cream social we do every year. We've done field trips is another thing that we handle as a PAC. As far as funds only, the teachers and the administration make the decisions on the actual field trips.
Now, what things in the school, besides that, do you have funding that comes from the school, or is it all fundraisers that you do with the events?
What we do is we have 2 annual fundraisers. As I mentioned earlier, we have a gift wrap fundraiser that's going on right now, and then in February we will have a math-a-thon, and those 2 fundraisers involve the children. And from those funds, as I mentioned, we do mini requests, field trips. We have, what was the other thing? The enrichment program that I mentioned, field day, and we also sponsor the 5th grade dinner. So it's really important that, people become involved if they can. Even buying 1 roll of gift wrap is a way of getting involved, and that will help support these programs for the children.
Now, the students do they go house to house with the gift wrap?
No,
or?
we don't encourage door-to-door selling. It really should be with family and friends, and if they're with their parents and they're going to a neighbor's house, that's fine. But generally, we suggest that you keep with people that you know, just to be safe.
Now, are there prizes awarded, say, for, the children? Do they get something if their parents say, okay, I'm going to help out in this way? Well, what do they see from that?
Well, the children this year are getting a free ice cream cone at Creamy Scoops. They're located right in Wilmington. And we're also promoting that the highest participation classroom per grade will get a pizza party. Great. So we're hoping that will get the kids' incentive, going, and that they'll go out and, raise some money for their school.
Now, how long can a parent be a member? How many? 5 years or 6 years? When kindergarten through?
When kindergarten was a part of the Shawshene, it would have been 6 years. But the Shawshene now is grades 1 through 5, so it'd be 5 years. And then next year that will also change with the opening of the new middle school. It'll only be for 3 years. It will turn into a grades 1 through 3 school.
So, are there any other events that you haven't mentioned that are upcoming and that we should be looking for?
Absolutely. We have the annual Harvest Craft Fair. That's going to be held Saturday, November 6th from 10 to 4. What that offers is a raffle table and a bake table. There's children's activities, and there's going to be lunch available. There's going to be a sand art table, and many crafters from Wilmington and surrounding towns are going to be there. And they offer a wide variety of homemade gifts and collectibles. We do have 10 spaces available in the gym. If you're a crafter, you can call Martha at 694-1580 if you're interested in renting a space from the school. We encourage Wilmington residents to attend, as well as any family members, friends from other towns. You certainly don't have to be a Wilmington resident to come to the craft fair. And we also encourage any Shawshene school parent interested in helping that they can call me at 657-8043. And if you have any donations for the raffle table, that's whether it's an item or money, businesses or private donations are welcome for the raffle table. You can call Nancy Brown at 658-8246.
Now, thank you very much. Anything else going on that you can see any way? Well, how would someone become a member? Do they just come on down, newsletters, or?
Yeah, we, as I said, have the monthly meetings, and if you just need to show up, that's the first step, is just coming to a meeting. We encourage, as I said, parents interested in coming to the meetings. But if you can't attend a meeting and you still want to get involved, feel free to give me a call, and I'd be happy to put you in touch with someone who can direct you further. And as I said, anyone who wants to help also in the activities of the craft fair can call me as well.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Linda
thank you.
Golden of the Shawshene School PAC. And thank you for coming. Susan, back to you.
Thanks, Amy. I'm here talking with Terry Marciello of the Bazell Senior Center. Hi, Terry. How are you tonight? Thanks for coming. Okay, tell me a little bit about the Senior Center and how long it's been there and what kind of services it provides to the community of Wilmington.
Well, in 1986, it came up here to the school, the Bazell School, and from their point, quite a few people worked very, very hard in making this possible, making the Senior Center possible, and renovating the school, and quite a few donations occurred. I only arrived around a year and a half ago, so when it comes to true history, it's hard for me because I'm still learning. But the purpose of the Senior Center is to be able to have it not only to run programs for seniors, and that is the ages of 60 and over, but also to have it as a drop-in center, a place where they know they can come for information or come for a free cup of coffee or donuts, which are donated by Dunkin' Donuts in the area. But it's just a very important resource for everybody, but also can be a fun place.
Now, what kinds of activities and programs do you have at the center when seniors stop in?
We have programs from Monday through Friday, and if you have any concerns that after I'm speaking and not knowing all the programs and trying to remember them all, we do have a newsletter that I have started, a monthly newsletter that goes over the programs all the time. For example, on Mondays, we have an exercise class, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays, an aerobics class. On Tuesdays, we have our own aerobics teacher, which is very, very active. And you can call the center for times. On Tuesdays, we have a very special, Tuesdays and Thursdays, we have, it's called a Rise and Shine exercise group that gears to people that have a hard time and feel that aerobics is just too much. It's more like in the chair, slow aerobics, that kind of thing. We have whist on Monday afternoons. Let's see, on Wednesdays, usually our special programs and these special events are usually run on Wednesdays afternoons. We again have our exercise class, and we have ceramics class on Wednesday mornings. We do have our own kiln, so which really benefits the program even more because everything can be right there. No one has to worry about anything taken out of the building. Then on Thursdays, we have our wood shop class that meets down in the basement. They have every possible saw that you can think of. And we have, I forgot on Wednesday, we have arts and crafts class. Thursday, we have a sewing class. We have a variety of things. Friday is the bingo. You can't forget Senior Center without a bingo. So there is quite a variety of events, and there's always informationals. We have our commissioners meeting, which is once a month. And after our commissioners meeting, which keeps you updated on all events that are going on, we usually have a guest speaker. And for example, our past guest speaker was for Medicaid. And for people that are going into need assistance in the community, or if someone's going into a nursing home, you know, the fear of having to sell your home and et cetera, that fear shouldn't be there. There are things that you can do. So that kind of information can be found.
Now, does the Senior Center also serve as a resource for people who require further information for items such as Medicaid or Medicare?
Correct. We have quite a few programs that we can refer you to. For example, coming up is fuel assistance is one big example. Anyone that does need fuel assistance can call the center directly. We have the applications, that kind of thing. Anyone that's interested in the benefits of Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, to also give a call. Anyone that feels that they need services in their home, as questioning as to homemaking, light housekeeping, laundry, also even physical assistance as in skilled bathing and that kind of thing, we also can assist in that referral too.
Now, how large is the staff at the center? It sounds like you do so much.
Well, actually it's mainly myself, my secretary, Mary Lipsky, and I have an outreach worker, Margaret Keady, who does a lot of one-on-one when it comes to, say, if someone needs transportation to chemotherapy, dialysis, and they don't want to really go alone. Margaret's the key person for our community. I have two home-delivered meal drivers that go out and deliver at least 40 meals each a day. So we have like 80 meals going out. I also have a key person that also responds as soon as someone comes in the building to welcome someone in, Kay Green. I know I'm missing somebody, you know. So we do, even though our staffing is somewhat small, you'd think, we all work together very well as a team, so things really get done very well.
Now, tell me a little bit about the upcoming programs at the center. What's going to be happening?
Well, we have one very big coming up event. It's called the Caregivers Forum. The reason for this is that I've been receiving several calls, quite a few calls from adult children in concerns about their parents and how to keep care so they can stay in their homes, or if they're living with them, not to feel that they're so isolated during the day. So this forum will cover everything from homemaking to adult day health, social day care, to what assisted living and nursing versus nursing home. And this forum is on October 7th from 4 to 7, specifically towards the supper time evening hours, so that the adult children can feel that they can come too.
And that will be at the senior center?
Correct. And there'll be a panelist. There'll be representatives from each type of resource to be able to answer questions and work directly with everybody.
That sounds so interesting. And there are upcoming holiday events too?
Yes, we're having an upcoming is for November 20th. This is the first year we've had our holiday fair in November. We usually have it the first week in December. But overall, the seniors all felt that they'd like to get a little more of the Thanksgiving holiday in it too also. So there's all crafts, everywhere from knitting, sewing, ceramic pieces, jewelry, and home goods, as in baked goods, and it's wonderful. It's a lot of fun day.
And the seniors provide all of what will be sold?
They've done everything. They have absolutely done everything that will be sold at the craft fair. They have made themselves.
And that's November 20th, you said?
Correct. It's a Saturday.
At the senior center?
Correct.
That sounds great. Thank you very much for coming.
you.
Have a nice night. Amy?
Thank you, Susan. And now I am here with Jack Kavanaugh and Scott Ronan, and they are of the Wilmington Knights of Columbus. So thank you very much for being here tonight. Tell me a little bit about what is the Knights of Columbus all about?
Well, first of all, we're a national organization, a fraternal organization of Catholic men. And we tier down through a state level, and they oversee a council that we belong to. Scott is the Grand Knight on the parallel tier of the organization within our group, and I'm the president of the Bill Association on the other side of the parallel. We are chartered in 1961, and we're called Father Croak Council 4982, Knights of Columbus, Wilmington. We met in St. Thomas Hall for 5 years before we finally put a building up. Downstairs where the youth center is in the what is that facility downstairs? The church hall. And we finally put a building up, and we have a very nice, adequate functional room for rental. We have accommodations up to 200 people for our rental, weddings, or whatever. We have a downstairs function area as well. We could accommodate 80 people. And so we do look forward to our people coming down, looking at our hall. If you're thinking of renting a hall, come on down. You're welcome. We'll show you around. We have a nice membership quarters downstairs. And the members have adequate facilities. We have pool. We have what do we got? Cribbage. We have shuffleboard. And we have a bar, of course. We're a gregarious type. We have to have a place to have a little conversation. And we're a very, very dynamic organization. We invite you to come down. If you'd like to join the Knights of Columbus, come on down and talk to us about the application procedure, or come down and look at our hall, and we'll show you around if you'd like to rent it. The 4 main principles of Knights of Columbus are patriotism, fraternity, unity, and charity. Charity, one of our more important ones, and Scott will talk about that.
Okay, great. Now, what charities do you help out?
Well, we're probably most visible on the Columbus Day weekend, and that's our state charity, and that's otherwise known as the Tootsie Roll Drive. And you'll see us outside all the shopping, centers and what have you. And what that does is we take that money and we send it back into the state, which is in an account. And our different councils, our council will apply for monies needed for, some of the special kids that need some things. An example was we just gave a $5,000 check to a local family so that they could put a wheelchair ramp into their van. So it's a good feeling because I had my son out there last year, and to be able to show him something like this, it's a great example to show your children too. I just want to touch a little bit on the overall organization of Knights of Columbus, and that was created back in 1882 in a church basement, St. Mary's in New Haven, and it was a community of a lot of immigrants, and times were tough, and this young priest, Father Michael McGivney, started this organization to create a fraternal relationship amongst the Catholic men, and also to provide an insurance benefits for them and their families. And here we are 107 years later, and we're 1.6 million members strong, not only in the United States, but in other countries. And our councils, in Massachusetts, there's 229 councils alone. And so this state charity drive is pretty popular, and you'll see a lot of us. But I don't know if people realize when it comes back into the communities. The other thing is our local charities that we give is supported basically by our dues and also by our fundraisers, which are mainly made up of social events. We just had a horseshoe tournament, and also we're having this Saturday a golf tournament, and these will fund scholarships that we've given out every year. And then there's also the local sports organizations, which we support a few of them, and it is made up of a lot of social events. As Jack says, there's cribbage, and there's the dart league that we have, and coming up right now we have a karaoke night on October 2nd, and November 6th we have a Cape Breton dance, and we've got a New Year's Eve party coming up, and which people should get your reservations in quick because it's going to be a tough year. And this just goes through the whole year, that we keep pretty busy and have a good time at it too.
Now, how would you become a member?
You just can come down to, or actually you can meet any one of the nights, or come right down to the council and they'll sponsor you. There are criterias. You have to be a practicing Catholic. You have to be sponsored by one of the members. Is there any other main criteria for that, Jeff?
Well, you have to be over 18. That's
Yeah.
about it. And of course, you have to be a man,
I was going to say, I probably couldn't do that.
a Catholic man. But we welcome you to come down and visit us at any time, especially to look over our hall for rentals. And we have upstairs and downstairs, as I stated. And it's open house. Just come down and ask anyone to show you around, and we'll be glad to accommodate.
Well, thank you very much, Jack Kavanaugh and Scott Ronan of the Wilmington Knights of Columbus, for coming down here. And back to you, Susan.
Thanks, Amy. I am talking with Steve Peterson of the Rotary Club. Hey, good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Your hands are freezing. Okay, I've always wanted to know, why is the Rotary Club called the Rotary Club?
The Rotary Club, you know why?
Why?
It started in Chicago in 1900. A gentleman by the name of Paul Harris got together three people from three different faiths, Protestant, Catholic, and Jewish faith. They met on a weekly basis to come up with some ideas on some community projects. As they met weekly, though, they rotated to each person's house, hence the name Rotary.
Well, that's something good. Now we all know something different. Okay, tell me a little bit about what the Rotary does for the community of Wilmington, what kind of services you provide.
Sure, the Rotary actually does an awful lot in the town of Wilmington. It's really all about helping people. Our membership is made up mostly of business owners in the town, male and female. Our biggest project is the scholarship. We are the single biggest donor of scholarships to the Wilmington residents, Wilmington students graduating from high school and going on to college. Over the past 13 years, we've donated over $125,000 in scholarships. Another big pet project of ours is Rotary Park. It was the Wilmington Rotary Club who donated Rotary Park to the town of Wilmington.
And tell us where Rotary Park is located.
It's located right across the street from the police station. And like I said, we donated Rotary Park. We also have different days during the year where we clean up Rotary Park. Our members love going down there and keeping the park up. We've donated the lights that you see on the town common across from the high school. We donate bicycles to the Wilmington Police Department for the DEER program. We do just about anything and everything we think is worthwhile in this town.
That's quite a bit, actually. How old is the Rotary Club in Wilmington?
The Wilmington Rotary Club is 55 years old. Our first president was Representative Fred F. Kane, and that was in November 26th of 1944 was when he was sworn in as president.
You got all these dates down, don't you? Did you practice for this? Now, how long have you been president?
I was sworn in myself June 30th of this year, so I'm new with this.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, tell us about the upcoming Rotary events this year.
Our biggest event is the auction. We have 2 nights this year, November the 18th, which will be live on TV here on WCTV from 6:30 to 10:30, and November the 19th, which is Friday night, will also be live at the Knights of Columbus. And that is our single biggest money raiser. And the majority, all of that money will go directly into our scholarship program.
And tell me what kinds of things are auctioned in that particular event.
We get donations from all over. We have trips, we have boat rides, we have dinners. It's really impressive, the amount of people who donate. And what's more impressive is the amount of people who come to the auction and telephone here at WCTV and make bids. It's really impressive when you see the amount of money that's raised, because the people know that the money is going to a very worthwhile cause.
And all for such a very good cause. Yes. Now, tell me, how does one become a Rotarian?
One...
Is that the right term for that?
Yes, it is. Similar to the Knights of Columbus, in a sense that you generally are brought in by a present Rotarian. Someone will sponsor you. Most of our members are business owners in town, or they represent a business. And they will go through a screening committee. We will put them in a classification such as what is their occupation, or exactly who are they representing. And if we will send out notices to every member of the club, if anybody has a reason that they would not like to see this member in the club, they can speak up. And if it passes all the members, then they are brought in.
And where do you meet?
We meet at Stelio's Restaurant every Wednesday at 12:15.
So if someone is perhaps interested, a business is perhaps interested in becoming a member, they could either show up at Stelio's or perhaps give you a call? Or?
Certainly. That's a great idea. Showing up at Stelio's would be fantastic. Right. You know, just say you are looking to become a prospective member. We are always looking for new members. It's really incumbent upon all of us to find new members all the time. Because obviously the more members we have, the more work we can do for the town.
Now, besides the auction coming up in November, are there any holiday events that are happening with Rotary?
We have our private functions. We have a Christmas social. We do a lot of hard work during the year as club members, so we try to
relax and enjoy.
Exactly. Treat the members. We try to have a good time. It really, for all the hard work that we do, it's fun. You know, it's really one of the most rewarding and fun times that I've been a member of approximately 6 years, and it's been very rewarding.
Now, how large is the Rotary in Wilmington? How many members?
We have approximately 50 members, and that seems to be, you know, we obviously strive to get more, and some members leave for business reasons, for personal reasons, but right now we have 50, and we're always on the lookout for new members. So people watching this who would love to become a Rotarian, by all means, give us a call.
Now, is there a number that they can call?
There isn't. We don't have a number. We don't have an office per se, but there's a number of different Rotarians. You can contact myself, any of my brothers. Our numbers are in the book.
Under P. And then they can always show up at Stelio's on Wednesdays at lunchtime.
Yes.
Great place to have lunch too, isn't it?
It certainly is. A fantastic place.
Good place, Stelio's. Thank you very much for coming.
The hands aren't warm yet.
It's too cold. Take care, Steve.
Thank you.
Amy?
Thank you, Susan. And I am here now with George Moriarty of the Career Place. Nice to have you here.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
Now, I think probably here we're wondering, what is the career place and where is it?
Yes. Career Place is a one-stop career center. We offer career development opportunities and assistance to individuals who may be seeking jobs. We also work with local employers who have vacancies and need to find some talented individuals. We work with the employers to recruit those individuals. So we try to match those individuals who are looking for jobs with local employers who have job openings. The Career Place is located in Woburn. We're at 100 Sylvan Road. For those who might be familiar with the old Northeast Trade Center, it's in the building that was located in previously.
Now, what other services do you offer at the Career Place? If I wanted to go and update my resume, could I do that?
Yes, actually, we offer the entire range of career development services for individuals who are looking for jobs. We help them develop a resume, we help them develop cover letters, we assist them in researching where companies might be, we help them to learn how to use the internet and other technologies to advance their career search. We also help them deal with the stress of being unemployed and looking for a new job.
So this basically is for everyone. I mean, not only individuals that are looking for a new position to upgrade or do something different, but also for employers out there that are looking for people in the community or, you know, out there that are qualified to do the positions they're looking for.
Yes, we work a great deal with employers. We have over 1,400 employers who we work with during the year, and we try to work with them to identify the kinds of vacancies they have and to help them develop a strategy for recruiting individuals to fill those vacancies. As you know, many employers spend a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of energy trying to find individuals to fill their jobs, and oftentimes they're not successful at that. We have a complete system set up where we can work with the employers, help them develop a good strategy, good campaign to find individuals, and we can match them with the individuals who come into the Career Place. Over 5,000 people use the Career Place on an annual basis, so we always have individuals with a variety of talents looking for jobs.
Now, how would we get in contact with you? Are you on the web? Would you just come on down in Woburn?
We're on the web. You can get us there. You can also come into the Career Place, which I said is down in Woburn at 100 Sylvan Road, or you can reach us at our telephone number, our main desk, which is area code 781-932-5500. And we encourage people to come down and see the place. We encourage you to call up and look on the website, but coming to the Career Place is very important because there are a lot of services right there on hand that individuals can take advantage of and use them to help advance their careers. And we also ask employers to come down there and look at it and see how the individuals are working to find their jobs and how we can match them up with qualified individuals.
So besides resume building, do you have, let's say, mock interviews and things like that?
Yes, we do. We do a lot of those. We do critiquing people's job search activities. We teach them how to go on an interview. We teach them how to dress appropriately if they need that. We also provide a range of skills that they might need. A lot of people obviously nowadays need computer skills. So we encourage them to come in and take the computer classes that we offer. We offer Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, using the mouse, PowerPoint, and using the internet. A lot of people now are using the internet as a means to do some job search and research companies. We can offer an entire class on that so that they can learn how to use the internet and take advantage of that resource for themselves.
Now, it sounds like a great opportunity, but if we contact you, what is the cost for this type of service?
The majority of services we provide are absolutely free. Individuals can come in there and take core services. They can go through the orientation. They can go through the general courses there. They can come in and use the place at any time they want without no cost at all. There are many workshops that they can take which are also free, and we encourage them to take those workshops. That'll assist them in doing their job search and preparing for the job search. But there are also some additional workshops and services that they might want to take that are enriched and enhanced, and those are provided at a minimum fee. And anyone who has any difficulty meeting that fee, we can always adjust it to meet the person's particular income needs.
Now, where's the funding for this? People I know are like, wow, it's free, I can go.
We a variety of sources. We have a foundation grant that helps support us. We have fees that we generate through the individuals and companies that use the Career Place. We also have tapped into a number of federal and state resources that allow us to support some of our activities there.
Now, I understand you're going to be having a series of career fairs.
Yes.
Now, what's going to be at those career fairs, and when are they, and how can we go?
We have a job fair. We have them every other month. The next one is next week, September 29th, Wednesday the 29th. It's from 3 in the afternoon to 7 in the evening, but we have them every other month. We will have over 30 companies at the job fair next Wednesday, And we expect between 300 and 400 individual job seekers who will be there looking for jobs and trying to match up with the employers. And we encourage individuals who have either never gone to a job fair or who are intimidated by the process of going to a job fair to attend a workshop that we offer prior to that. It's how to make the most of a job fair. It teaches you the techniques of how to go about a job fair, how to deal with employers there, what to be expecting. We are running that workshop twice, once on Tuesday, from 6:30 to 7:30 in the evening, and then again on Wednesday from 11 to 12 noon.
Now, this is all going to be at your location?
Yes, it'll be at the Career Place, again, 100 Sylvan Road in Woburn.
And I also understand that you are going to, not only do you have workshops out there and you can come down to the Career Place, but for some people that possibly aren't sure yet, you're going to be having a program. It's going to start here on WCTV where people can watch and you're going to talk about tips.
Yes, we're very pleased that we've connected with Wilmington Cable TV. We want to be able to provide a message about what we are. So we will be hosting a series of shows here. We open on a monthly basis, and each one of the shows will focus on a different aspect of what the Career Place offers, again, to both employers and to job seekers who are trying to find jobs.
Great. Thank you very much,
Thank you very
George
much.
Moriarty.
Appreciate the
I
opportunity.
appreciate it. Thank you. And back to you, Susan.
Hi, George.
Just wanted to say hi. It's good to see you, too.
I am with Dr. Carol Golub of the Wilmington Family Counseling Center. How are you?
I'm just fine. Thanks for inviting me tonight.
Well, we're delighted that you could join us. Can you tell me a little bit about what the purpose of the Wilmington Family Counseling Center is? Is it the Wilmington Family Counseling Center, or is it just Wilmington Family Counseling?
Officially, the Wilmington Family Counseling Service Incorporated.
Oh, my God.
You asked.
Well, whatever. Can you tell us about the purpose of the organization?
Well, we were founded way back in 1972, actually 1967, by the town. People in the community wanted to have a local resource for counseling services, and so they started their own agency, and here we are 32 years later. It's really a testament to the community, to the town that funds us, and the Merrimack Valley United Way that funds us, and all the people who've served on our board and supported us over the years in so many ways. I think we're trying to be a safety net in the community so that anybody who has mental health problems or family problems or trouble with a teenager or a young child who maybe has nightmares or is afraid to go to school or just doesn't want to do what anybody tells them, school or home. Or you could be a couple who suddenly find yourself on the brink of divorce and don't really want to take that step because you've got a family that you love and want to preserve. So we work with people just in a whole variety of problems and want to be there for anyone in the town who needs those services. And because of the town funding and the United Way funding, we can see people from $10 to $62. So even if they don't have insurance, they might feel they can't afford counseling, but they really can come to our place and get the services they need.
So there's a variety of different needs that are served by Family Counseling Service. Now, tell me, are there upcoming events that are going on? I know that you have a big one coming up soon.
Well, we're celebrating our 32nd anniversary with what we're going to call Sunday Evening in Italia. You don't have to go to the North End to get gourmet food. You can come right here to Wilmington at the Knights of Columbus on November 7th from 5 to 7:30. We have area caterers and restaurants that are providing the food, and really gourmet food, anything from chicken zinfandel to pastas, created on the spot for you, to delicious gourmet desserts, crepes with sauces on top and fresh berries. And it's really amazing what the local restaurants will do for us. They put out beautiful displays and all this just to win titles like Pasta Perfect. And, it really is a fun event. And we hope that a lot of people will be interested in coming this year.
And it sounds like something that you should definitely not have dinner before you go to.
Well, that's the idea. There will be about 8 restaurants. The cost is $10, and all the food is donated. So it's all going to help us subsidize fees for clients who don't have insurance and don't have the resources to pay private practice fees. So we're using this as a major fundraiser for the year.
Now, when someone finds themselves in need of your services, how can they contact you, and what are the procedures for doing that?
Well, you just call us at 658-9889. I'm usually the person that you would speak to, and I would get some more information from you on the phone, you know, basics like your name and address, but also a little bit about your problem so that I can have a sense of who might be a good therapist for you. We have 10 therapists and 2 psychiatrists on staff now, and we've got like 5 psychologists and 4 psychiatric social workers and 1 psychiatric nurse, and with a whole variety of backgrounds and specialties so that we can work with young children and we can also work with the elderly. People do come in when they're concerned about their elderly parents. Another thing we're doing starting next month, I know Terry Marciello was here, we're going to run a loss support group at the senior center starting in the middle of October. For anyone in the community who's, you know, lost a spouse or a loved one and would like to come and share their grief with other people.
It's a lovely way of having those 2 organizations work together effectively, isn't it?
It is really nice. We're really excited about doing this program.
That's wonderful. Carol, thanks very much for joining us tonight. We appreciate you coming by.
Thanks a lot.
Take care.
Nice to be here.
Amy?
Thank you very much, Susan. And I am here with Tom Sulik, the president of the Kiwanis Club here in Wilmington.
Thank you
Nice
for
to
having
have
us.
you.
Thank you for letting us come by tonight.
Now, what is the Kiwanis Club all about? When did it get started? What's the background?
Well, I don't know a heck of a lot about the background. The focus of the club is twofold. We do community service, and then we do service on the international level. Right now, the international focus is on iodine deficiency disorder. The monies that we raise, some of those monies go to supporting that cause. Iodine deficiency disorder causes birth defects in children, and the other side of the international is head trauma for children. And we sponsor a bike rodeo in town, and we sell helmets, and we promote bike safety. Matter of fact, we have it right here every spring in the back of this very building. And it's very successful. This year in the last 4 or 5 years, we've sold over, I believe, 400 helmets to local children. The other side of the organization works towards community activities. We sponsor a couple of senior dinners, one in the spring, one's coming up the first week of December. We take shut-ins and we bring them a nice Christmas meal. Also, we recently built a playground down at Silver Lake. I don't know if you've had a chance to go there, but it's wonderful. We put up swing sets, monkey bars, slides. It seems to be, I take my kids there, they always
Everything
seem
you need to have
enjoy it.
fun.
Yes. We're sort of a low-profile club. We invite women and men to all come down and join us. You know, it's
Now, where are you located? When do you have your meetings? And how can I become a member?
very easy to become a member. We meet weekly on Monday evenings at 7 o'clock at Rocco's Restaurant. Anyone's welcome to come down. We are always looking for new members. It's not too hard to get involved. You just have to have a little bit of community spirit and want to give back. That's one of the most important things that we do.
Now, what upcoming events do you have? Are you going to be having anything in the area soon?
Okay, well, we have a fundraiser that'll be coming up in the spring. We have a duck race down at Silver Lake, and we sell raffle tickets, and we use the money to support some of the things that I've been able to talk about. During the 4th of July week, we have a barbecue tent, and we're down there every night selling hamburgers, hot dogs, fried dough, and then we have a chicken dinner on the Sunday, or the 4th of July, and we serve about 800 chicken dinners. And it's a lot of work, but it's good camaraderie, and everyone seems to get more out of it than they give. So,
Very good. Now, thank you very much, Tom Sulik. Is there anything else, any numbers that we can contact?
if you are interested in talking to me, you can call me at 988-2072, and I'd like to say hello to my wife and 2 daughters.
Well, okay, will do. Thank you very much, Tom,
you.
of the Wilmington Kiwanis Club.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. And Susan? back to
Thanks,
you.
Amy. I am with Jim Vanderpool of the United Way of Merrimack Valley. Thanks for joining us tonight, Jim.
My pleasure.
Can you tell us a little bit about the United Way and its activities and services in Wilmington?
Yes, the United Way, it's called the United Way of Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire. And the United Way consists of 1,400 United Ways throughout the country. And what many people don't know is that the United Way, each United Way is totally independent. There's no such thing as a national organization. There's a United Way of America, but they more a support type of operation than this. The United Way concept is what really made me join too, which is we serve right now 53 agencies throughout the Merrimack Valley. And if each agency had to raise their funds separately, it would even add to the mail that you get nowadays in your home, and you know how many petitions you get. So the consolidation was one idea. The other thing is that the United Way, and people don't realize that, spent a tremendous amount of effort to look at the needs in the various towns, like Wilmington, Lowell, Lawrence, etc., throughout the Merrimack Valley. We have 34 towns that we basically serve.
And that's just in the Merrimack Valley United Way?
And that's Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire. And we have 65 volunteers each year that go over these needs and then decide on how money should be allocated. And we have refined that by, instead of supporting an agency now, we support programs within the agency, because we want to make sure that the money that we get from the donors is really well spent. And if you have a program, you can see very specifically what they do with the money. If you have a total agency, and some are very large, it's very hard to determine how efficient they are and whether they really serve a particular need.
I see.
So,
Now, you brought what I consider a very impressive list this evening of the agencies that the United Way provides funding to in Wilmington alone. Can you just give us like a couple of things off of that list?
yes, some are well known, I'm sure. Boy Scouts, Boys and Girls Club. We have the Girl Scouts, the International Institute of Lowell, Lifelinks, which serves people that are handicapped, the Lowell Association for the Blind, Cruelty to Children, Massachusetts Society, Northeast Independent Living, Rape Crisis, Red Cross, Salvation Army, Samaritans, the VNA of Greater Lowell, and the Wilmington Family Counseling Services, and the YMCA of Greater Lowell. All total 19 agencies that we fund that cover the Wilmington area.
That's wonderful. Now tell me, how does the United Way get its funding?
Well, we have every year a campaign that just started. The campaign is usually from September through October and November. And we have volunteers by the hundreds that will try to help to raise the monies in the corporations, individuals, professionals, the government, both federal, state, and local are involved. And last year we raised $5.1 million. This year we hope to raise $6.3 million. The needs in our assessment of the needs in the various towns are fairly well hidden. People don't realize how many people are in trouble or need some help, not necessarily trouble, especially youth. And we see youth and family abuses is a very prominent phenomenon, growing. Last year, there were 20,000 calls of abused women that we try to accommodate in some way of help. But people don't realize is why WCA, YMCA, they all are far beyond just doing health things. They have housing for people, and people don't realize that. So you can always call the United Way, because we also give a referral service and tell where they could get some help.
Now, where can they reach you? What's the phone number at your office in Lowell,
Our
is it?
office is in Lawrence.
Lawrence.
It's I always get it mixed up with my home number. It's 978-682-5296.
And it's the United Way of Merrimack Valley located in Lawrence.
That's correct.
And thank you very, very much, Jim. I
My
appreciate
pleasure.
you coming tonight.
Thank you.
Take care. Are you ready over there?
I'm ready.
Okay,
Susan.
back to you.
Thank you very much. And I am here now with the Wilmington Historical Commission, and I have Kathleen Reynolds, who's our curator, and Carolyn Harris, who's the chairman. Thank you very much both for being here.
You're welcome.
Now, I understand that your commission has been very active in preserving the history of Wilmington. So tell me a little bit about what are the events and how can we get involved?
The Wilmington Historical Commission has been very involved and very active recently in a number of projects, and we really feel that the town should know what's happening. The first thing I want to mention is the Scale Keeper's Office, which is next to the Congregational Church. It was built in the 1840s, and through the efforts of Commission member Jim Murray, we have a new historical display there, and I invite the citizens of Wilmington to stop by and enjoy that display. We also have maps available for a historical tour of the cemetery, and shortly we'll be having maps available for a walking tour of the entire historic district. In addition, our plaque program has been moving forward. We have a new round of plaques that are available. Kathleen will be mentioning a little bit more about them. These plaques, we encourage the historic homeowners to place these plaques on the exterior of their homes to identify the historic properties. And in addition to that, we have historical publications available at the town hall. Paul Shalafor's book, Images America, Wilmington, is available for sale at the town clerk. In addition to that, we have Jerry O'Reilly's 2 books, Retrospective and also Silver Lake Remembered. And I think perhaps one of the most exciting events, although we have other things going on for sure, but one of the most exciting events, the Historical Commission obviously is very much interested, primary interested, is preserving Wilmington's history. And over the past couple of years, we've had many calls from Wilmington residents whose family have been in town for generations and who have offered to the Historical Commission memorabilia to be put on display, you know, in memory of their family or loved ones, and we never really had a place for it. So we're very excited to announce a brand new position, and that is a curator who will be responsible for the Hardin Tavern and the creation of a Wilmington Town Museum. And after a lengthy search, Kathleen Reynolds, who is next to me here, was selected to fill that position. Kathleen has a degree in history from Bentley College and currently is a candidate for a master's degree in museum studies at Tufts University. And I would like to introduce Kathleen, and she can tell us a little bit about what's happening at the tavern and what's ahead.
Well, great to have you here in your new position. And tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Well, currently at the tavern, the historical Harnden Tavern, and that will also be the place where the museum will be established. We offer tours on a monthly basis, open to the public from 2 to 4 the first Sunday of every month. That's a wonderful tour, and I encourage anybody that hasn't had a tour of the tavern to come down and have a look at it. In addition to that, next in November, we'll be presenting the Arthur Thomas Bond collection at the library through the generous offer of the Friends of the Library. We'll be presenting that collection, which I'm very excited about because I have spent a good year cataloging and organizing that collection, so it'll be another opportunity for the residents to view that. And in addition, at that evening, we'll be dispersing the new historic home plaques that the Commission has gratefully extended to those historic homeowners. In addition to that, a WCTV produced television show, Connecting Wilmington, will be broadcasting an interview with me sooner or later about the museum, and that will keep the public involved on current events there. And lastly, the Friends of the Harden Tavern will host their Christmas social there in December on the 5th from 1 to 4 p.m. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's a wonderful time, very popular with the residents here in Wilmington and also with residents in other area towns.
Now, is there a number or a way that we can contact you to become involved?
Absolutely. Any questions that anybody has, they can reach me at the museum at 658-5475. And call me with any questions, or if you would like a need a tour by appointment, I'll be available for that. Also, I wanted to mention, in case you don't know where the tavern is, it's on Salem Street at number 430, just before the Family Medical Center. Beautiful old home.
Could I add one more accomplishment? and that is the Historical Commission has a brand-new historical map that is currently at the printers. And on behalf of the commission, I'd like to thank Kathleen Reynolds for her hard work. She has done all the design and the writing on this historical map, and it will be distributed throughout the town, we hope within the next month.
Great. Thank you very much, both of you, for coming here.
You're welcome.
And we appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
The Wilmington Historical Commission. Thank you. Back to you, Susan.
Look who I have over here.
Hi. I was hoping that it was my turn, but
We had this bet, but we were trying to see who was going to get the Minuteman. And when I had realized that I was going to get the Minuteman, Amy insisted that we share. And then when Amy thought that she was going to get the Minuteman, she said that we couldn't share.
no, I never said we couldn't.
Oh, liar, liar. So you can come and
No,
share with me if you
that's
want. Okay, I have the Wilmington Minutemen here. I have Captain Stephen Leet here, and over here I have Adjunct Sergeant Robert Ethier. What does adjunct mean? I'm sorry?
Adjutant Sergeant.
And what does that mean?
It's really a helper to the upper officers.
Oh,
Okay. My post is really the secretary.
I see.
Nice name for secretary.
Yeah, it's okay. That probably is nice. Now, how long has the Wilmington Minuteman been, I guess, in Wilmington?
Well, the company was reformed in 1968 for the purposes of the bicentennial. So the recreated company has been in existence for 31 years.
And how many members in the Wilmington Minutemen?
We currently have about 12 very active and probably about 30 members overall.
Wow. And are you looking for members, for new members?
Absolutely.
And how does one become a Wilmington Minuteman?
Well, we have a meeting once a month on the second Thursday of every month at 8 o'clock. Anybody who's interested historically in the colonial period is welcome to come and find out more about us. And if they're interested in joining, we have a form that can be filled out. It's $10 a year. With the $10, we put it to a monthly newsletter. We have historical information in it, coming events, and other information about the company.
And I'm sorry, where did you say those meetings were held?
At Wilmington Minuteman headquarters, which is on Andover Street in Wilmington, at the corner of Route 62, right behind Herndon Tavern.
Ah, well, that was convenient timing, wasn't it? It does keep coming up. Now, do you have to have your own outfit?
Well, eventually you certainly will, yes.
But this is just something that, do they give you the outfit when you become a Minuteman, or is it something that you have to bring with you, or?
Really, most of us, when we started, were able to borrow enough pieces to march, a waistcoat, breeches.
No kidding.
And sometimes a musket. But as time goes on, you accumulate other things. As your historical knowledge increases, you upgrade different things.
Are these pieces authentic, these costumes?
Authentic reproductions, right?
So they're reproductions. Okay. And you don't have to know how to play a fife and drum or anything to be a Minuteman, do you?
No, you don't, but it'd be very helpful.
I'll
if
bet
you
it would
did.
be helpful, wouldn't it?
Makes marching easier.
Now, what events do you actually participate in as Minutemen?
On a historical perspective, we do the Boston Tea Party and the Boston Massacre. We do a number of parades throughout the year. We do a Liberty Pole capping here in town.
And we do several reenactments. One at Castle Island in South Boston. We just had our own last week at headquarters. A few weeks ago, there was one in Bennington, Vermont. So there are many reenactments throughout New England that we can go and participate in.
So this truly would be an organization for somebody who's very enthusiastic about American history.
Yeah, history buff, and it's also family camping.
No.
You know, most of us bring family along, and it's living history.
Definitely.
Some of our present members actually grew up in the hobby. Their parents started back in the late 60s, and then their children grew up in the hobby, and they're members today.
So the costumes probably then get passed down, don't they?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just so curious about where you get those lovely costumes. I just love them. Okay, now if somebody wants to become a Minuteman, do they basically just show up at the meetings, or is the number that they can call?
Basically, show up at the meeting.
And tell me again when the meetings are?
The second Thursday of every month at
Okay.
8 o'clock behind the Hardin Tavern.
Behind the Hardin Tavern. All right, and thank you very, very much for coming, Stephen and Robert.
Thank you.
Take care. Amy.
Thank you, Susan. I am here with Donna Cormier, who's a spokesperson for AIM, which is Access is Mandatory. So, Donna, tell me, what is AIM and how can we become involved?
AIM is a group formed 13 years ago for handicapped and challenged adult men and women. We also take able-bodied people because we need their hands and their legs to help us manipulate during the day with all our various activities. To become a member, as the Minutemen said, you just come to our meetings. We meet every Tuesday from 9 a.m. to approximately 3 p.m. at the Knights of Columbus Hall behind St. Thomas of Villanova. And at these weekly meetings, we have board games and raffles and bingo. Sometimes we have a guest speaker come in and speak about handicapped issues, or the political guys come in once in a while and say hello and get their points in. We are self-supporting right now. We started out as a group formed basically to help community awareness for the handicapped and to help the handicapped person come out and socialize with their peers and get to share problems and excitements and issues that they are involved in day by day.
Now, what upcoming events do you have that we can come and participate in or, become a member?
Weekly, we have a potluck dinner. Bi-weekly, we have bingo and raffles, 50-50 raffles. Upcoming, we have a 13th, I believe it is, anniversary party. I believe it's going to be October 9th, and then October 23rd, also on a Tuesday. All our activities are on Tuesdays. We're going to have a country store where we bring our crafts and our trash and treasures from our house and kind of trade them off for a little bit of money, 5 cents here and 10 cents there, and earn some more money for our Thanksgiving dinner and our Christmas party and birthday parties and stuff like that that we have during the year.
So now you said you have a potluck dinner. This is a time for people to be creative and get together.
Oh yes, we invite creative people to come and share their creativity with us, whether it be your macaroni salad or your Halloween costume. Bring it along and share it with us, and we're open for it.
Now, what other activities do you do for the holidays besides your Christmas party and your Thanksgiving dinner?
Well, Santa Claus comes. Once in a while, we have a little group of children from the Lutheran church, the Baptist church, actually. It's, I can't even think of it now. But anyway, the church school down there, the children come and sing for us and do plays for us once in a while. We do monthly birthday parties. We have a Thanksgiving dinner. We have the Knights of Columbus put on a St. Patrick's Day dinner for us. And Santa Claus comes, and we do a basket to give to a shut-in. We do the things that normal people do in an environment of our own peers.
Right, so it's a very active group.
Oh, we started with 5 people bag lunching it at the 4th of July building, and we are now up to 80 regulars. And we do potluck dinners. People bring in their casserole or their can of beets or, a loaf of bread.
This is a super potluck.
Oh, yes, you're welcome to come and join us for lunch.
Well, thank you very much. And can you just tell us once again, when are your meetings and where are they?
Tuesday, every Tuesday. We do call off for Wilmington school, absences, when snow days. Wilmington snow days we call off. But it's every Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., and we're at the Knights of Columbus Hall behind St. Thomas of Villanova.
And is there a number that we can reach to contact you?
If you need information, our founder, Judy DePalma, her number is 658-5107.
Thank you very much, Donna Cormier of AIM.
Oh, you're welcome.
Appreciate you being here.
Thank you for the time.
Thank you. And back to you.
Thanks, Amy. I am talking with Joe DeRosa of the Wilmington Community Fund. Nice to meet you, Joe. Tell us a little bit about the Wilmington Community Fund, Joe.
Wilmington Community Fund was started about 53 years ago, and it was a group of people that were formed to help other people in the town of Wilmington that may be a little down in their luck. And it's progressed and grown to a group of people now that are volunteers. We're all volunteers. And we help people. We run the food commissary. We do a number of fundraisers. We do relief. We're proud we give scholarships to the high school athletes, but both at the Wilmington High and at the Shawshene Tech. And it's really mostly a ground roots community fund that people in the town support through donations, through the food pantry. We accept donations at the food pantry on Saturdays. We open about 10. We're there till noon. People come that may have a little trouble, and we, every second and fourth Wednesday of the month, they can pick up some food here to help them get through the tough times.
And tell us where the food pantry is, Joe.
It's right here at the Swain School.
And it's located upstairs of
Upstairs.
WCTV.
Right upstairs from the TV station.
Great.
And we do a lot of other activities in town. We're going to be doing the tree lighting ceremony. We'll be selling tickets. Not tickets, but we'll be selling little Christmas ornaments at the tree lighting ceremony to help raise money. Over 98% of any of the money that we raise goes to the people that are in need of it. Unlike most organizations, our expenses are extremely low.
And that's because you're primarily a volunteer organization?
We are a 100% volunteer organization. Some of the volunteers have been on there a number of years, and we're very well known in the community.
Now tell us, if somebody was interested in assisting the Wilmington Community Fund by volunteering some time, who would they contact?
They could come to the food pantry on Saturday mornings between 10 and 12. We have a lot of high school students that help out. Or they can contact us through writing a request to P.O. Box 174 here in Wilmington, and we will get in touch with them.
And those in need of taking advantage of the food pantry can just show up on Saturdays?
Yes, if they come to the food pantry, they can show up on a second and fourth Wednesday. So we're open Saturdays for donations of food and for volunteers to help us put the food away. We do a lot of things with the post office, the high school band. They do food drives. And the food commissary, the food pantry is probably the one thing that Wilmington people know us best for.
Great. Any other upcoming events besides the tree lighting ceremony?
Well, we have, every July 4th, we run the Family Day. We do this to raise money, and we want to thank also the people of Wilmington for helping us with the donations. A lot of this is confidential when we help people that may be a little down in their luck, but a lot of the people in Wilmington are people helping Wilmington, and we care about the Wilmington people.
That's a lovely concept. Thank you very much for coming, Joe. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Amy.
Thank you very much. Now I am here with Ann Urich, who is the president of the League of Women Voters. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Amy, for inviting me.
Now, tell me, what is the League of Women Voters all about? How did it get started?
Well, actually, the national history is after the suffrage movement, it was decided that these women who now had the privilege and responsibility of voting needed to be informed, needed to be educated. So there were a group of women who got together and formed the League of Women Voters, and that was their purpose in life, to educate the citizen as to the issue, any governmental issue.
Now, I understand you had a very big night last night. Tell me, what was that all about?
The title of the evening was Toxic Waste in Wilmington, and it was generated through a concern, through many of the stories that I'm sure all of us have heard about the Rocco site, McDonald Road, those kinds of issues. And two of our members wanted to do an evening for the parents that were concerned in particular, or for any citizen who was concerned. So they asked many of the representatives from the state, from private agencies, from volunteer groups, to come and to share what they knew about toxic waste, how we could protect ourselves, what it is that we needed to watch out for, and how we could stay vigilant.
Now, how would you become a member? When do you meet, and how do you become involved?
You become a member by calling me, and my phone number is 657-7739, and we encourage everybody out there. We are not gender specific in spite of our title. We want male membership as well as women, and I will send you out an application, and we would appreciate it very, very much.
Now, what other activities and other causes are you involved with?
Well, each league throughout the state has a program, and at the beginning of each year, the members get together, and our meetings, by the way, are once a month, and Wilmington has decided on the third Thursday of each and every month to meet. And they vote on a program, and each member would volunteer an issue that they might be concerned about and describes what the concerns are, and the group takes a vote whether or not to make that a program issue for the Wilmington League. And I have my Wilmington handbook right here. This is what it looks like, and this is our symbol, and that's what that means. And we take on many, many issues, from zoning, the water supply, education, recreation, town management, what we feel is the best process to use for Wilmington, those kinds of things.
And you said you meet once a month.
That's correct.
Now, what other events are you holding currently?
Last evening was the one and only event that we have officially scheduled for this year. I will be attending the fall conference, which is going to be down in Plymouth, and one of the topics that they're going to be managing or discussing is going to be ed reform, and that's one of my passions. So I'm going to be attending and being very concentrated on that. Barbara Sullivan, who is a long-time Wilmington League member, is going, and her focus is going to be health insurance, nationwide, statewide. And there are other kinds of issues that are going to be discussed, campaign finance, those kinds of things. Locally, toxic waste in Wilmington, I think, will be it for this year, but that's why we go out and seek membership so that many ideas can come to the table, and perhaps we'll come up with something.
Very good. You're very active in the community and for a good cause.
Well, I've lived here since 1969, loved every single moment, and am very proud of it. And the League is one expression of that.
Very good. Now, I would like to also find out, are there anything you've done in the past that has worked and you'd like to probably do in the future?
I wish I had the history that some of our members had, because I can recall sitting at some of our monthly meetings and they would discuss about the various studies that they've done. The process for doing a study is quite complicated. It's nothing that you do quickly or easily. You do a lot of research. We always talk about the comprehensive plan, which goes back to the master plan, which goes back to the town center, which goes back to Route 38 changing its look. And someday I'm sure it's going to happen, and the League is very involved in that emphasis.
Now, one more time, just tell us, for all our viewers out there, when do you meet and where are your meetings?
We meet the third Thursday of every month for 10 months during the year. We do not meet July and August. One of our members has volunteered her home to be used, and it's on Adams Street. Typically, the start time is 7:30. We try to round it up by 9:30. Many times we don't get out till 11 because people are interested, and there's just a lot of things to think about.
Very good. Now, thank you very much, Ann Urick of the League of Women Voters. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And now, back to you, Susan.
Thanks, Amy. I am here with Jay McGrath and Rosemary Crowley from the Friends of the Hardin Tavern. Hi, thanks for joining us tonight. Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about the Friends of the Hardin Tavern, Jane?
Well, the Friends were established in 1975, and were established to help aid the Historic Commission in furnishing and restoring the different period rooms in the tavern.
Now, do you work with the Wilmington Historical Society to do this work? I understand that they also have a museum curator that they're also
Kathleen's, yeah,
Kathleen.
she just went on board like
That's
last
right.
week. Yeah, we work with them, but we function pretty much separately.
Mm-hmm.
We meet at the tavern, and once a month, third Wednesday of the month, and what we do is we plan events, at least 3 a year usually, then we try to raise funds to buy the furnishings or to have different educational things going on at the tavern.
I see. And are there upcoming events that are going to be happening soon?
Yes, we just finished Harvest Festival, in which we worked with the Minutemen and their encampment. And upcoming the first Sunday in December is the Christmas Social, which is a wonderful event. It's an opportunity to really enjoy some of the best of the holiday season. We have beautiful greenery, some lovely things for sale, and you get to tour the tavern and see it in all its glory. It's a beautiful event.
Now, the public can actually come into the Hardin Tavern on certain times during the week. Is that true?
Well, right now, as it exists, the first Sunday of the month is open to the public at the tavern. They can come in, they can get a tour, they can look around. And then with our functions, we try to have food and drink and music, and we try to show different, things that they would be doing at the tavern in the old days.
So while the regular first Sunday of every month is more for a tour, this would be more of a social?
Exactly.
I see. And, I mean, it must look beautiful in the holiday season, does it?
It does. The social is like the best part of the tavern. It smells really good. We work really hard, and we have a lot of fun actually preparing for it. We use fresh greeneries and things, and we have hot melt cider. It's the best time to come. It's the best time to be a friend of the Hardin Tavern, too, because it's just like so much excitement, and it's fun to get ready. You learn a lot of new crafts doing it.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah. Now, how large is the Friends of the Hardin Tavern?
We have a mailing of about 70 at the current moment. Not everyone is active. A lot of people have been involved since the very beginning, and they enjoy getting the newsletter that we try to send out monthly. But active, we probably have between 10 and 15 currently.
And if somebody was interested in becoming a member of the Hardin Tavern?
The easiest way to contact us is via our post office box here in Wilmington. It's Post Office Box 779.
Right.
And you can contact us, and we'd be happy to send you information. You can also stop by one of our open houses on the first Sunday of the month. There are membership applications there, and we'd love to have everybody join and be a part of history coming alive here in Wilmington.
You can also come to one of our meetings. We meet the third Wednesday of every month at 7:30 at the tavern.
That's great. Is there a phone number?
You can call me. I'm Jane McGrath, the president, at 658-5720.
Great. And so it's Jane McGrath and Rosemary Crawley. Thanks very much, ladies, for joining us tonight. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Amy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm swell, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Good.
Thank you very much for that. And right now, I am here with Father Philip Early. Early to bed, early to rise, as you go.
Wealthy or wise.
And you are from St. Thomas of Villanova.
That's correct, yes.
Now, welcome to the community. I understand you've been here since January.
Yes, I've just been since January, so it's been a period of getting used to Wilmington. It's been nice getting to know the community.
Now, what is St. Thomas of Villanova? When are your services, and how can we become a member?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. Our services are on Saturday afternoon at 5 o'clock, and then we have them again on Sunday morning at 8, 9:30, and 11:15. And we'd like to welcome all the people of Wilmington to come join us for any of our services. You see, we are a community of people striving to live the gospel of Christ. And so in that sense, then we welcome all people. And the reason why we want to welcome all people, it's my belief that God has never made junk when it comes to human beings. And so, as a result, everyone has that basic human dignity that we should respect. And if God doesn't make junk, then we should accept that person as a community. And likewise, the other aspect of it is, of course, that God always loves us as we are and not as we should be. You know, and as a result, then, if God is willing to accept you as you are and not as you should be or as you hope to be or want to be or whatever, then likewise, we as a community want to welcome all people in and join us because we're all on that same journey of trying to, live out the gospel of Christ. So I say to all the people of Wilmington, come on down and, join us.
Now, what other services do you have? Do you have Sunday school or children can come and be a part of your service?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we have a major religious education program. I'm happy to say I was able to hire a new director of religious education, Marilyn Mendoza. I think when the people come to know her more and more, and when they get to see her programs that she's implementing this year, you'll find that she's a wonderful person and also has set up a great program. We have grades 1 through 10, the 9th and 10th grade confirmation years. And then we have the regular grammar school religious ed. And right now we have well over 1,300 kids in our religious ed program. So it's a good-sized program, and she's doing a great job organizing it. And she's new this year, too. It's a whole new scene at St. Thomas this year.
Now, what other events do you have going on? I remember reading on the community bulletin board about fun basketball games. You're having a fun day.
Yes, actually, we lucked out. We had our fun day last Sunday. It was a family fun day, and we had a goodly number of people there. It was games for the kids, basketball, volleyball, races, those the three-legged races, throw the water balloon, all that routine. And it was a cookout and so on. The whole point of that day was just to bring the community together, because if we're going to say that we are a community of people striving to live the gospel of Christ, then we have to come together and relate to one another. And so we are trying to provide a lot of activities that will bring people together just to come to know one another and socialize one another. Because in our society today, you find people going off in this direction, that direction, work and other ones, and so many parents are schlepping their kids all over town, to this event and that event, that it doesn't give them much opportunity to really come together. And so what we're trying to do is provide those opportunities where the community can come together, get to know one another a little bit more. But beyond that, we have other activities that we're trying to do. We have support groups going. We have support groups for widowed and divorced, widows and the divorced and separated groups on it. We just started a series last Sunday night on promoting family harmony, how to deal with the stresses and tensions that come into a relationship. We had that on the last Sunday, then the next session will be on October the 24th, then November the 14th at the church on a Sunday night from 7 to 8:30. And again, it's open to all the community. We had a nice representation from the Methodist Church, and Reverend Herb Taylor and his wife Sarah joined us for that session too. And so we'd like to invite all the churches to come and and join us and learn how we can better deal with the tensions and that enter into the relationships and so on. Mm-hmm.
Now, also, besides doing that for the community, do you also have other organizations use your facility as a meeting place and have meetings there or whatnot?
Yes, one of the things that we're really blessed with is good space. And we have the Wilmington Youth Center, of course, uses the basement of the lower level of the Villanova Hall. But we also have like the Boy Scouts there, the Girl Scouts there, and now we have the Sons of Italy meeting there and things of that nature. So we have a lot of groups meeting there. We'd like to always utilize our space to the benefit of the community. And so we do have others using it.
Now, what activities or other visions do you have for the future?
Well, I think what we are basically trying to do is just we'll do several things. We want to invite all the people back to St. Thomas, because sometimes people wander off and so on. So first of all, we want to say, come back to us. We would love to have you there. And then what we're trying to do is develop all kinds of different activities that will help people better live the gospel of Christ out, whether it be practical things like support groups, whether it be spiritual things like we're planning a parish mission for May. We have retreat days scheduled. We have days of reflection for various ministries in the church, and so on. So we have all kinds of activities and all trying to be focused on bringing the community together, so they can better live out the gospel of Christ and really help them become better human beings, because to become a good disciple of Christ and become an authentic human being are one and the same. They're not two separate goals. You're really achieving the same end in itself.
Now, one last thing. Do you let's say people cannot come to church, they just are physically not able to get there. Do you have any type of services that you go to people's homes?
Yes, we do, of course, always make what we, in the Roman tradition, call the First Friday calls or whatnot. And of course, we do Mass and so on at Woodbriar and Sunrise Nursing Home. So, and for those Catholics here in Wilmington who are homebound, give the rectory a call. We'd love to be able to come visit and bring you communion. Unfortunately, since I'm the new guy in town, I don't know all the prior, all the people who worked really hard to build up St. Thomas of Villanova. And they might be home there saying, oh, geez, here I worked so hard for years in the church, and now the priest doesn't come to see me. Well, unfortunately, this priest doesn't know who's who and what's what in the community yet. So I'd ask them to take just pick up the old phone, give the rectory a call, and we'll be happy to come and visit them.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
Father Philip Early of St. Thomas Villanova.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank
Pleasure
you very
to be here.
much. And back to you, Susan.
Hi, I'm here. Now, I'm sorry, what did you say your name was again? Is it Ruth Kennedy? I think Kennedy with a K. Of WCTV?
Yeah, that would be correct.
And you're the executive director of WCTV.
I am.
Wow. So what does an executive director do?
Well, we direct
Executively.
executively.
That's sick. So tell us what you're here about doing here tonight.
Well,
How are we doing so far?
we're doing really well. I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank all the organizations that participated tonight. And I think the evening went quite well. We had a very good showing, and we're waiting for Reverend Herb Taylor. He was last on the agenda, so we're
But not
waiting.
least.
But not least, of course. He was last. He requested to be last because he had some prior commitments. So we're waiting for him. So in the meantime, we're stretching.
So Ruth is essentially killing time.
I'm the fill-in. But I have these lovely T-shirts for sale, and I thought I would.
Ooh. How beautiful.
A WCTV T-shirt can be yours for only $9.95, and you can support your local access center, or you can even become a member of WCTV. This is our membership form.
For just a nickel more.
For just a nickel more. But actually, if you sign up now during September, our membership month, you can sign up for $5, which is a bargain.
Best deal in town.
Best deal in town.
And what do they get with that membership, Ruth?
What do they get? They get, you get a quarterly newsletter for one thing, which is quite a work of art, I would say. Our newsletter is probably the best newsletter.
A tad biased.
You get our quarterly newsletter. And you also, for your one-year membership, you get access to all of the resources here at WCTV, which include television production equipment, like this equipment we're using right now at this very moment. So, yeah, imagine that. A studio, we have 2 edit bays, we have camcorders. Amy's laughing. She's killing me. The 5 camcorders. We have a digital camcorder, which actually, if I could mention the digital camcorder, that could be.
You just did.
I'm mentioning it again because that's a new piece of equipment that we're really excited about, and I think that's going to give people a lot of different opportunities than they already had before, such as. I guess if we had the right software, which I'm working on, folks, to build a nonlinear editing system, you could essentially use a digital camcorder, and I don't know if Dawn, is that a stretch or is that wrap it up?
It's a real stretch.
Okay. Yeah, the digital camcorder could probably allow people, I would think. And if there's someone out there who knows the answer to this, please call me. Allow someone to put your video onto a website. And it seems to me that you should be able to do that.
Absolutely,
so not
yeah.
only would you be cable casting your program to Wilmington, you could also essentially webcast
to the entire
world. So Wilmington is not your boundary, folks. You can have your program and your voice heard.
That's right.
Around the whole world. So that's we're working towards that, step at a time.
So they get use of the equipment,
Yes.
and they get the opportunity to also learn to produce and direct their own show.
Yes, that is true. So anyone who has, a remote interest in maybe video as an art form, or, they're interested in it from its creative aspect, or maybe they're interested solely as a communication tool, that's another. Oh, look, Herb Taylor's here.
Oh, there he is right there. Keep talking, though. I want to hear the rest of this.
Or if they're interested in using video as a way to communicate a message, or to get, basically communicate an idea to the public, or on issues or anything that you're concerned about, this is also the way to do that, since we do reach every home that has cable. So, we're uniquely situated to provide that vehicle for communication for those people.
And you have a new television show that you want to tell us all about, don't you?
Yes, and who would my co-host be? None other than Susan.
Who could it be? Me?
Conveniently, we're both here on camera at the same time.
Why, yes, we are.
This is my co-host, everyone. So yes, Connect Wilmington is our new show. Would you like to tell people about it?
I'd like you to tell us about it. I'm the interviewer. You're the interviewee.
Okay. Well, yes. Our program, it will be a bi-weekly or tri-weekly.
Tri-weekly, probably.
If, all goes well. And we're going to feature local people, local organizations, and tell some of the local stories behind those people and groups. And also provide information on upcoming activities that are local, and
we got a little calendar of events.
Yes, we do.
For community organizations.
We talk a little bit about current events in the community, what issues are on the front page of the local paper.
Yeah, we just basically want to let people know what's going on in Wilmington, and how these events affect their lives in the community.
That's correct. That's correct. So if anyone out there would like to be a guest on Connect Wilmington, they can call me.
Ruth Kennedy.
Herb Taylor over here wants to sign up. They can call me, Ruth Kennedy, that's K, 2 N's, at 657-4066. I almost gave out my parents' phone number, and that would have been right. Don't call my parents, call me here. My parents live in Wilmington, if you don't know that, it's true.
I do that too. I always give out the same phone number I had like
that's
12
wrong.
years ago. And it's like, wait a minute, that's not the right one.
I don't live there anymore.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Mrs. Kennedy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure to be a guest tonight.
Amy?
Hi, thank you very much. And I am here with Reverend Herb Taylor. Nice to
Nice to
meet
be with
you,
you.
of the United Methodist Church here in Wilmington.
That's right.
And tell me, where are you located and when are your services?
We're at 87 Church Street, and it's good to be with you tonight. I know I was just a little late, but I'm glad to be here. Yeah, we're at 87 Church Street, which is right on Route 62. And the services, we just have gone to 3 services. So it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and 11 o'clock, all on Sunday morning. The 8 o'clock is a half-hour informal communion service, and the 9 and 11 are both regular family worship services.
Now, do you have any children's education program?
Yeah, we're very active with our family ministry, a lot of children's programs. There's Sunday school on Sunday mornings, and the Sunday school on Sundays, which is a good time to have Sunday school, is at 9 and 11 after the children's messages during the service. The pre-kindergarten through 4th grade classes then go downstairs and have Sunday school. The 5th grade through adults meet between the two, the 2nd and 3rd service, at around 10:10 or so. And we have a number of other children's programs. We have youth groups, junior high youth groups, senior high youth group. They meet on Sunday evenings, the junior high at 4:30 and the senior high at 6. And they do all sorts of fun things. They go on retreats. The senior high just got back from Newburyport. The junior high is going to Rockport in a couple of weeks. And they do a mixture of things, talk about issues that exist today that are important for the lives of teenagers. Also do a lot of social activity and service projects as well. Our church is very involved in outreach, reaching out to the community and beyond to try to kind of share not only our faith, but more, as importantly, share what it means to be children of God by kind of caring for those around us.
Now, I understand with your children's ministries that you have a friend that comes with you.
That's
and
very
I'm
true.
Yes,
That's
and
very
I'm
true.
always very excited to see your little friend. Now, can
Yeah.
you tell me about that?
Well, I do puppets, and puppets, yes, I'm a
He's
puppet person.
the
yeah.
puppet man.
That person you think, what is going on? When you turn on WCTV and you see this strange person with not being a ventriloquist. I do not try
No,
that at all.
no.
In fact, they kind of pan away from
Yes,
me, so they just
that's
see the
what
puppet moving. But yeah, his name is Emmett, and it's a puppet I actually made a while back. I was involved in a senior high camp at one point that was a puppet camp, and so from this one experience, made this puppet, and actually since then have acquired a number of other characters along the way. He's Emmett, he's like kind of like a Muppet, you might say, like on Sesame Street. Then I have Dimples the dragon, who also comes out every now and then.
And he has dimples and he's a dragon.
He is, and very long, like nails too. Dimples looks like very well done. It was an artist who was in the church where I served before made Dimples for me. And let's see, Emmett has a friend named Daisy, who also comes out every now and then various other characters that I either do myself, which is schizophrenic at times to try to figure out, or split personalities as I try to do all sorts of different voices and keep my own, and then preach afterwards, and my voice is like this, or else pull someone else who's willing to make a fool of themselves with me. But the children really, it's amazing because the children really, even though my lips are moving, when Emmett's talking, they are looking right up at Emmett, and I can see it, and especially all the others in the church can see it. They, they feel like Emmett is a real person, and some of the littlest ones talk to me like about Emmett, like what did he do yesterday or something like that, like wondering how his day is going. So it connects with them, and it's a fun thing. We try to make church for people of all ages a place where people don't feel like they're going to kind of punch the clock or pay their dues, but they go to get their spiritual batteries recharged and feel kind of ready to take on the week ahead.
Now, I also, you just had a welcoming back service, and there were balloons everywhere.
Yes, we sent out care packages to everyone welcoming back to church, and part of it was, that care package was a balloon, and we asked them to blow up the balloon and bring it to church, and I was telling people that, reminding them that what church is just a building unless we come and share our energy with it. And also that church should be a joyous place, so balloons kind of give you that sense of, a balloon on its own kind of without blowing it up, not that great, just a little kind of flimsy thing. But when you blow it in, it becomes this festive thing. And so the same as church, 4 walls, just a building, till you bring your spirit into it, and how important everyone is to make that happen. And so they not only did that, then we actually had a little batting of the balloons around.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then people took home a different balloon than they brought to make to kind of symbolize the way church is not only something place you bring something to, but also hopefully something you take. That's something you take away from it as well.
Now, what other events do you have in the upcoming month?
Let's see. Well, the church always is good at suppers, and we have a bean supper coming out in October. In fact, the October 16th, and then there's another one in November. So we're billing this October 16th one as the second to last bean supper before the end of the millennium.
Wow. Woohoo.
So we have suppers at the church, and then we have fellowship activities that go on. We have a parenting group that meets. We have a divorce and separated support group that meets. We have Bible studies that go on, and one of the Bible studies, the beginner's Bible study, we have a lot of folks in the church that are coming to the church that are, kind of new to church and new to the whole idea of coming to church. They sense a need to be on a journey, you might say, or to discover things about God and themselves. So we do a lot of things like beginner's Bible studies. There's a United Methodist Women's Group that meets monthly and has a lot of activities. The church is a very alive place, a lot of energy, and a fair is coming up. Actually, we have our Harvest and Holly Fair, which is, I hope I get this right, the last, I'm going to look, ready?
Okay,
Look
go
at this.
ahead.
I think it's the
Woohoo, come
last
prepared.
weekend in
Yay.
November, if I'm not mistaken.
That's very good.
Pause for 1 second and we'll
That's
find
okay.
out.
It's good to
No,
know
it's
the
not
correct.
November.
That's
It's
okay.
better be
October.
October 23rd is the fair, and we're looking forward to that. It's a great time. We have flea market tables and craft tables and great food. That's one of the hard things about being a Methodist minister. You start getting that ministerial presence if you don't watch it, because there's so much good food there. So we're looking forward to that Harvest and Holly Fair. And obviously, we're in the midst of a big construction project. If anyone's driven by, see piles of sand, and they're starting to really get going on building an expansion to the church, which is very needed because of the growing, really, children's programs. Most of the expansion will be for classrooms and meeting rooms and improved nursery and a toddler room, as well as providing just places for the other activities. We're very dedicated to AA groups and Al-Anon groups and Scouts, and we want to continue to make that available to the community. And the way our church has grown in the last few years, there's been a real crunch in space, and so this expansion is an exciting kind of symbol of what's happening within the church.
Now, can you tell us again, where are you located and when are your services?
The services, again, are at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and 11 o'clock on Sunday morning. They're open to anyone who wants to come. For those who don't have a church family in Wilmington and are searching and trying to kind of, again, figure out who God is and who they are and how God and they relate, invited to come. The doors are always wide open for all the programs we have in the church.
And is there a number that someone can call you at?
Yes, the number at the church is 658-4519, and call anytime with questions. There's a secretary or myself or an assistant, and we'd be glad to answer any questions people have.
Thank you very much, Reverend Herb Taylor from
Nice
United
to be with
Methodist
you.
Church.
And
I
thank
appreciate
you very much for WCTV, too, because we're on also, I think, Tuesdays and Thursdays and Sundays, and it's wonderful to share our services with the folks who watch us on TV.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, back to you, Susan.
Back to us, Amy. Yes, we've actually, so we've been on it for about 2 hours, and we've covered quite a bit of organizations, and I would actually just like to, where's my camera? Am I here?
Yes.
Yep.
No, we are
Hi.
right
Oh,
here.
hi. I would actually like to thank all of the organizations that have joined us this evening. The Congregational Church in Wilmington, Friends of the Wilmington Library, Shawshene School PAC, Buzzell Senior Center, Wilmington Knights of Columbus, The Career Place, Wilmington Family Counseling Service, Kiwanis Club, United Way of Merrimack Valley, the Wilmington Historical Commission.
The Wilmington Minutemen.
Oh, yes, I got the Minutemen.
The AIM, access is mandatory. Wilmington Community Fund. The League of Women Voters. St. Thomas of Villanova Church. The Friends of Harnenden
Herndon Tavern.
Herndon
You kept that right,
Tavern.
That's because you used that R.
Yes, the
Condon.
New York R, I'm
Condon
sorry.
Tavern.
And United Methodist Church.
Not to mention Mrs. Kennedy from
Yes.
WCTV. From our own WCTV. Now, how long, we've got a couple of minutes before I wrap up here. Now, you just joined WCTV, haven't you?
I have just joined WCTV. I've been here for 2 months, and I'm from New York, so I really knew, I don't know too much about Massachusetts, especially I knew nothing about Wilmington. And tonight I have all these organizations I can go join now, even though I don't live here yet. But hey, you know, definitely very interesting here.
So this is really helpful for you tonight, too, isn't
A
it?
very warm community.
Yes, welcome to Wilmington.
Thank you very much.
And thank you all for joining us tonight, and we hope to see you on our next organization night. Take care. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much.